It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. We the people as our beat and rhyme. We're dropping old school values every time. Extreme honesty with a fresh twist. Breaking it down, you don't wanna miss. It's freedom talk, loud and proud. Voice of the people, can't be cowed. Every week, we speak our mind. The love of country, it's one of a kind. So grab a seat, let the BRANE Show roll. We're serving up truth, heart and soul. Brian and Shane with that patriot steel. For the people, by the people, of the people, let's go. It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall. It's the BRANE Show coming in hot every week. We bring the truth when we speak. Red, white, and blue, the bulls stand tall. We the people, united won't fall.
This is for America!
With an Englishman on the panel.
Shut the fuck up!
Yep. All right.
Oh, mate, this is top tier stuff.
You know the problem with Hollywood is they make shit unbelievable, unremarkable shit.
To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair.
Will you fight? No! We will run!
Getting praise from Wizards.
And we will live.
Today, yeah, fair play.
Shame on you. This could be the greatest night of our lives. But you're gonna let it be the worst.
And I guarantee a week won't go by in your life you won't regret walking out, letting them get the best of you.
Well, I'm not going home.
Day may come when the courage of men fails, but it is not this day.
The line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
I'm not saying it's gonna be easy.
You're gonna work harder than you ever worked before.
I really do believe that together we can accomplish anything.
Because we'll never stop learning and we'll never stop growing.
Failure is not an option.
That's how winning is done.
Believe me when I say
We can break this army here. It has made us brothers. I say to you, what every warrior has known since the beginning of time. You've got to get mad.
I mean plumb mad dog mean.
If you would be free men, then you must
Fight to fulfill that promise. Let us
Cut out their living guts.
1 inch at a time.
And they will know what we can do!
Let no man forget how menacing we are. We are lions.
This is your time.
Seize the day.
Never surrender.
victory or death.
So come on then!
Matt Smith.
Take it!
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
All right, let's fly! My name is the Lord. When I
Tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take
our Independence Day.
You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world.
We don't sleep to dream, we sleep to build stamina, energy to do our thing. Get your camera up. This show is about to begin, so sit down and buckle it in. Let's go!
Yeah, my name is Brian, that is John, and you are watching The BRANE Show. Yes, that is not Shane, my brother. My brother has a family emergency, just like Matt Kadish and Dutch had. They all have family things going on today, so we had to call in the specialist.
Yeah, the regenerated Shane.
The regenerated Shane. He's some would say he's the nudie of Shanes. Anyways, good to have you here, John. How you doing today, brother?
I'm good, thanks, mate. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here. Cheers.
Cool.
Lots to talk about.
Yeah, today we're talking about some interesting stuff. We're talking about Bill Burr. If you guys don't know who Bill Burr is, he used to be a comedian.
A long time ago.
Long time ago, he was a comedian who valued free speech and telling it like it was. And now it's a little different. Also, we're gonna talk about Spider-Man 4 because Spider-Man 4 is interesting. It's supposed to be the street level, and not enough people are talking about this. It's supposed to be a street level movie, but they're making the same mistake they always make, and they're making it much bigger than it needs to be. And we're talking about alien invasion. Some people think that there's an alien invasion happening in 2027. Other people think that it's just they're being gaslit. And it's very interesting, this thread that someone sent me. Wild thread. And some fake influencers. A lot of fake right-wing influencers. And I'm seeing an epidemic of pretty girl right-wing influencers. And they're outing themselves because they're using AI to create their Sydney Sweeney type jeans ad. And when you look at their profile pictures, and in every other one of the pictures, you're like, oh shit, all of this is AI. And it's sort of crazy when you realize that it's all AI. And then you call them out and be like, why is this AI? Why are all your pictures AI? And they block you immediately because they're grifters. They're not actual right-wing influencers. And Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens versus Nick Fuentes. That's going to be an interesting conversation. A lot of people like Nick Fuentes. A lot of people like Tucker Carlson. Some people like Candace Owens. Notice I said some. But it's funny how when the right starts winning, they start tearing each other apart. And I think it's because the grifter scene, before they had something to sort of rally around, like we're against the left, we're against the progressive.
The battle's won.
Right. And now they have to still fight. And so now they're starting to fight within them, their own ranks, because that's what grifters need. They need to be able to fight. They need to be able to complain about something or it's not working. You can't complain when things are going sort of well. And I think the Epstein file thing is an absolute disaster. Don't get me wrong. I was going to put
Never going away.
Never going away. I was going to put on the list the link to that PBD show where his two panelists just have absolute meltdowns because one is like, no, I don't care who's on the list. We're going to find them. We're going to hang them. And the other guy's like, well, but what if it was just basic statutory rape? He's like, what are you talking about? And they're freaking out. And then you have PBD there in the corner, barely paying attention to their conversation. It was hilarious. My brother likes PBD a lot. So I try to watch it, and I'm sitting there watching this, and I'm like, how is it that the guy whose namesake is the show is barely paying attention to his two co-hosts who are just yelling at each other for an hour straight?
Yeah.
Maybe if we have time, we're gonna look at that podcast because it was absolutely stunningly hilarious.
I actually think we're probably about 2 steps away from. You remember the MTV Team Deathmatch they used to do back in the day about 20 years ago? That's going to come in at some point. Just celebrities matching each other.
Yeah, and because a lot of people are on the weird sides of this coin. Like some of these influencers were very much give us the Epstein files right now, and then when Trump was like, "Can we stop talking about the Epstein files?" They're like, "Yes, sir," right away.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. You can tell the people that all of a sudden decided to stop talking about this obvious, like, sort of cover up or whatever you want to call it, how quickly they turned on a dime and said, okay, we're going to stop talking about it. And it's disappointing to me because, look, if you guys don't know me, I'm right of center, like for sure. I'm right of center. My brother is more centrist. I think John's a little right of center. We're pretty much, traditionalists, conservatives to a degree, right? I would like to call us more libertarian or like free speech advocates. I'm a staunch free speech advocate. I don't care what you're saying. I don't even care if it's offending me. I've had people on this show call me a fatter Chris Griffin, which is hilarious to me. He's like he's like a fatter, dumber Chris Griffin. I'm like, okay, look, I mean, it's not gonna, if you can say something offensive, I will defend your right to say offensive things, my friend. And unlike some of these influencers are like, block, no, no criticism whatsoever. So that's where I stand. I'm free speech all the way. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, again, it's not a difficult situation, is it? It's all about morality. If these people have done these things, bring them to account. That's it. There is no left or right, back and forth.
Yeah.
It's if they've done these things, you bring them to account. But all these people that are blocking people in the States, they want to try being in the UK right now because, you haven't even got to block people and you get blocked from seeing things and stuff. So I'm pro free speech, but that is very quickly disappearing where I live at the moment. Very, very shaky ground.
Right. Yeah. And if you want to be where some of these other countries are with free speech, this is how you do it right here. You block, you contain, you don't allow people to speak. People go, well, you have the right to say whatever you want, but you don't have the right to but you also have the right to the consequences of that action, of what you said. Oh, sure. Yeah, that's true. But don't block my ability to say it. Like if your platform is supposed to be free and you have specific terms of service, and I say something that falls within those terms of service, then I shouldn't be shadow banned. I shouldn't be throttled. My information should be out there, just like the other side. But what we're seeing now is now that the right has sort of won, and their side has won, we're seeing those exact influencers who used to be super free speech, super everything. They're now
eating their own.
Right. They're eating their own. They're utilizing the same techniques the left used 4 years ago to continue their grift. And it's pathetic, dude. It's pathetic and disappointing.
It is. It's baffling, isn't it? You'd think that they would continue moving things because, especially the last few years, the more you divide yourselves, the more you give an opportunity for things to go back to how they were the last few years. So it's a stupid approach. It really is.
Right. Yeah. So the pendulum always sort of swings like every generation. This is what I found interesting, is that the pendulum sort of swings, left and right as generations rebel against the previous generation. Yeah. I love that the grand designer, whether you believe in God or divine intervention or what, there seems to be some kind of genetic thing in place where teenagers want to rebel against the status quo, right? Whatever the current culture is, they tend to want to be counterculture. And that's actually super beneficial to society because we never go down a route where it's just left.
Yeah.
Or right. The next generation or two generations from there, they tend to rebel against that. My generation is my generation was pretty based, right, in the 90s. My kids now at 13 years old are based. Like they're so based, it's crazy. My kid calls me retard and stuff. It's really funny.
Around the dinner table.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how sort of like irreverent they are. And they're irreverent because the previous culture was so reverent. I remember when they were little, their kindergarten teachers, telling them what words they can use, like silly words. And now they want to push the envelope because the previous generation was so contained and so, anti-free speech, and it's all about your feelings and not about what's happening, not about reality. So those my kids, which is great. I'm glad that I get to see that, are really based. So we're going to raise an entire generation of people, again, who are definitely more center of right, more free speech, irreverent, and just don't really give an F about what your feelings are. And that's the way it should be, from my opinion. And then I think in a couple of generations, it'll go the opposite way again. And that's probably good because society is constantly sort of swinging in the middle somewhere. And that's where we need to be. And now I know a lot of right-wing people wouldn't agree with that. They'd be like, no, I want right-wing all the way. You got to understand, some right-wing people are straight up nuts. Like they're too far right.
Yeah.
There's some right-wing people are so far right, they're exactly what the left tell us we are. They go, oh, you're a fascist. Well, some right-wing people are so far right, they are fascist. 100%.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, either side, you always get the radicals, don't you? You know, but it's finding that balance of where things don't go extremely right and things don't go extremely left. Just finally balanced, and I think we need to find a way to do that. I think we'll come on to topics that discuss that with Bill Burr as well. But
yeah, and Bill Burr is one of those guys who was starting. He saw that his street cred was seriously failing, and now he's trying to like backpedal a little bit. But as he backpedals, he actually furthers his left-wing entrenchment. It's sort of wild to look at. So thank you for getting back on topic. Yeah, so we are going to be talking about Bill Burr. Yeah, and we might, if we have chance, we'll get to the metaverse stuff, because I thought that was really funny. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to talk about that. It's so funny seeing Mark Zuckerberg get up there and saying, I want you to have your own personal superintelligence. And he purposely is leaving mistakes in the video and cuts to make it seem more human, but he looks like artificial intelligence mimicking human. It's really funny because it's the opposite of what he was going for, and you for a fact, it's no longer about the the glasses are cool. Like, you get some Ray-Bans, they have AI in them, cool, whatever. You get, you can interact. Some people think it's dystopian, but I think it'd be badass to put glasses on and have access to Chat GPT or whatever, Yeah. But that's not the point. The real point is the point of his ad campaign was dystopian. It's like, hello, we're probably going to show this. Hello, everybody. My name is Mark Zuckerberg. And he coughs like it's a planned cough. It's so weird. So we're going to talk about that too. So stick around. And if you're not a subscriber, for some reason, if you came here from the Salty Nerd Show, or you found us after the fact, maybe you found us after the live stream, and you're not a subscriber, do me a solid, hit the subscribe button, because we are literally at like zeroed out. We are gaining as many subscribers as we are losing. And it's wild. It's a
great show, guys.
This channel used to be like almost purely entertainment. Well, first it started off as almost all Star Trek, then it was entertainment. And then we moved more into current events, news, politics, and that includes entertainment. And we rebranded to the BRANE Show after our third demonetization. So we go, if we're going to be demonetized, we might as well just lean into current events and fringe science. But the thing was, when we did that, a lot of our previous Star Trek and purely entertainment subscribers, they left, and rightfully so. Hey, you didn't join this channel to talk about the Epstein files. I get it. But that means that as we're gaining subs, we're also losing subs. And so some days it's like a negative number, some days it's a positive number, and if you average it out, it's pretty much just zeroed out, or just sort of hanging out in the middle. So if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And if you're watching this, or if you're on live stream right now, like it and share it. Help us out. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Bill Burr first, because that's on the thumbnail. And I got this thing from Vulture. It's a news rag, but it's also a YouTube channel. They did an interview with Bill Burr, and I think it's really funny, some of these things. A reminder that Bill Burr used to be a comedian, and he would push the envelope on what you can say, and he hung out with people like really hardcore, sort of irreverent, almost offensive comedians, and he had no problem with comedy being offensive as long as it was funny. And what happened was he got married to, some people would say a black chick, but really he got married to a feminist. And the problem was he married a feminist. It wasn't that the fact that she was black or white or green. It didn't matter what color she was. It was really that she was a liberal feminist. And her views started to 100% affect him, his comedy, his statements, his podcasts, and the work he did. And then we get to this point where he starts to criticize people for free speech. He starts calling everyone fascist, everyone's a Nazi, everyone's a racist, everyone's bad, but only if they're on the right. And he became the sort of a darling of the left the last couple years, which is a fascinating thing to have this guy who was lambasted and almost canceled by the left several times to now sort of play to that base. And maybe it's because it's safer. Because the right isn't, most of the time, the right's not going to try to cancel you, right? At least not the comedians. But the left has no problem going for your throat. So maybe it's a safer place to be. Maybe his wife is like, look, maybe you don't agree with me, but like, you want to keep working? You want to keep that sweet Disney Star Wars money? You gotta play ball with the progressives, bro. You know, so
that's right. I think it was as soon as he came into contact with Kathleen Kennedy, everything went downhill from there. To be honest.
Yeah, and you're probably right. So this is Bill Burr. He's on Vulture, and we're gonna watch. By the way, if you have a hard time hearing it, just let me know. Someone also asked, I forgot. He said, "Who made the intro? They need props." Thank you. I made the intro, and I'll get the props. Thank you, Blizzard. All right. Let's look at this.
Best intro on YouTube, without a doubt.
Appreciate it, bro.
Rocks.
My worldview is like it's apolitical and it's trying to bring people together. I'm trying to do the opposite of what's going on out there.
I'm just gonna fast forward.
This guy was screaming on his cell phone. And I usually don't say anything, but I just went like, buddy. And he just goes, oh, okay, sorry. He just took 2 steps over and started screaming again. And I just appreciated that he actually acknowledged that he was being loud. But I also understood that whatever he was yelling about was super important. He was yelling in a different language. So I could tell that it was...
it really mattered to him.
There was something of that was time sensitive was happening.
Right away, though, I'm only showing this section because had this been classic Bill Burr, it wouldn't have been, well, it was yelling in a different language. I'm telling you, it would have been like, this guy was like, he would have mimicked the language, but now he's worried about the progressive left. You can tell that he's terrified of them to the point where he just refuses to be the comedian he was before.
Well, a few years ago, this would not be happening, this interview on this channel or this podcast, would it?
No, Vulture wouldn't have had him on. No,
he's cancelled.
He's already, he was already soft canceled by then. The fact that you're on Vulture alone means that you are definitely, on that side of the aisle, bro. All right, so this is what they say about the going woke part, and he gets a little annoyed at this interviewer. I think it's pretty funny.
The last few months, you've had a few things happen, which is Ben Shapiro talked about going to one of your shows and complaining about you becoming woke, which sort of then created this.
He doesn't even know what that word means.
Let me summarize.
His definition of woke is white liberals' definition of woke, and they didn't even know what it was. Yeah. They just took the word from black people. That's the worst thing about.
It's funny because he thinks that he's rebutting what he's saying, but he's actually parroting what the left says. Oh, well, you that's cultural appropriation of the word. Like, bro, you think that you are rebutting what he's saying, but what you're doing is you're entrenching yourself further left when you say that.
Part of you almost thinks that there's a teleprompter in the background that he's just reading off of.
It just says, don't forget.
Or a manager just
black appropriation. Don't forget to mention that. Yeah, there's a manager with cue cards. Don't forget, woke is a African-American word purely. Make sure to mention that. Okay.
White bad. White bad,
black good. Don't forget, white bad.
Our people is not only do we take from other cultures, we don't even take the time to understand the definition.
Yeah.
He went there to be annoyed.
All right, we're the only people. I'm sorry, guys. Just so you know, whites are the only people that take from other cultures. Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, he's more than welcome to come over to the UK right now, and he could see other cultures that are trying to take from white culture.
Yeah. Come on.
Classic example.
Go to the UK. First off, you'll get arrested immediately for your past jokes. They're gonna look up your old Twitter bill, and you'll be put in prison. But if you make it to prison, if you even make it that far, because on the way to prison, you might get just stabbed by a random immigrant. Just so you know, because their version of culture has just completely taken over. Sorry, I'm not trying to dog this country.
No. This is a green screen in the background. I'm actually broadcasting live from prison right now.
Right, yeah, he's actually in jail right now. He's sitting on a boat somewhere on the English canal. He's like, they can't find me in here. I'm hot spotted.
Yeah. I've just gone around the Isle of Wight. Yeah.
All right, let's keep doing this.
So he can then have something to talk about, and then he can make money off of dividing his own country.
Yeah.
Those people, it's treasonous what they do.
Yes, but to be fair, or not to be fair,
Okay.
the
Okay,
fact is
Bill.
that it worked for what his goal
What?
is, which is then it became a thing online where then a certain portion of the right complain about how you're woke,
Racists.
and more racist.
They're racist. Yeah,
It's crazy. It's crazy. He's trying to rebut him, but he's proving the point. He just called everyone racist for going woke because they're appropriating black culture because woke is a black thing. What?
It is crazy, isn't it? It is literally like someone is, while he slept, they've drilled into his head and just placed a chip in his head to just say all this stuff. Because it's just literally someone pressing a remote control, isn't it?
Dude, I want Bill to go back to his younger self and have a conversation. Like, it would be amazing to just have younger Bill and this Bill have a conversation, and how insanely incinerating it would be, because younger Bill Burr would not have said any of this prior to him getting his wife and that influence. None of this would have been a thing. He would have been making fun of himself. He'd been like, dude, this guy sucks, dude. Yeah. He always says, dude. I don't know why. All right, here we go.
They send pictures of monkeys to me and my wife.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
fucking horrible people, and they're cowards, and they never say it to your face.
Yeah.
They never do that. And no, they're like, look, dude, there's an ugliness that's out there right now where, there's certain podcasts out there that if you're a racist, if you're an anti-Semite, if you're a psycho-nationalist and you want a softball interview, there's podcasts out there where you can, and they will laugh at your fucking bad jokes and just give you this pass. And it's like, there's a really ugly thing that's going on out there. And, it's the kind of things we've already seen this.
Right there is when he starts to realize, like, oh shit, I just called.
Yeah. And
I just called everyone racist.
And right in his agent's going, kill it.
Yeah, you can actually see it when he realizes what he did for the last 2 minutes. He goes, oh fuck, I gotta somehow bring this back to the middle, because like the whole point of this is for me to get back to the middle where everyone likes me. But I freaked out and called everyone racist again. Damn it.
Yeah, I know, but he is doing what he just said about going on podcasts and they laugh at your jokes. That's exactly what this guy is doing to him.
Exactly what this is.
It's crazy.
It's the same exact thing. Yeah.
And we've seen what it does to a nation, and it's not
down.
the way to go. It's not the way to go.
Now he started talking about how it's dividing people. Okay, get back to the middle, Bill. Get back to the middle.
Yeah.
Time, you're talking about billionaires, you're talking about stuff like this, and people on the left have been really embracing you, and they're sharing your videos.
No, that's not true, dude.
Certain parts.
See, he doesn't want to be on the left. He wants to be in the middle, where he can sell tickets to everyone. So now he's like, oh no, that's not true, dude. What are you bringing that up for, dude? Hey, dude, I'm not on the left, okay? Dude, I'm in the middle, okay? Don't. We had this conversation, dude. I'm in the middle. He's getting mad about it.
That's not true. That's not true.
Certain portions of the left.
That's not true. And certain portions of...
Bill looks like he's about to punch that guy in the face.
Yeah.
I told you not to bring that up, dude.
Yeah, like old Bill is trying to come out, trying to represent like a possession.
Yeah, but there's a manager in the back. No. Stay woke.
Yeah.
Stay woke.
Just writing on a board right now, violence bad. Violence bad.
Violence bad. No violence. Don't do it, Bill. Don't do it. He's like, fucking dude, I'm gonna, don't make me do it, dude.
The right. Sure. There's common sense on both sides.
Sure. See?
But we
going
keep
back to the
doing
middle.
this shit. Where it's like, oh, the right's all fucking racist. And dude, the left is some of the most...
He just called the right all racist. He just did that. So he's now criticizing himself from a minute ago. That's crazy.
And he's saying about, coming into the center, we want to find a time where we're all, we all cooperate and we work together. Right. But it's like you said, he's just said everyone's racist. But the trouble is, what you've had the last few years is you've had things happening things being done to kids, like, procedures on children.
Right.
You've had other things that have been done over the last few years as well, which any sensible person wouldn't just be able to go where he's going, live and let live. No, you've got to take a stand against it because it is wrong.
Right.
So until that is sorted out, you can't all meet in the middle, because there's one side that you give them an inch and they're taking
you give them an inch and they take an entire penis. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you're completely right. It's hard to meet in the middle when some of the stuff happening on the other side is so egregious, and then even more than egregious, it's celebrated. Like it's celebrated. Like I can never meet someone in the middle who agrees to children transitioning. I would never meet you in the middle on that, bro. I'm sorry. It should not happen.
Line I can't
It
cross.
shouldn't be. Yeah, there's some lines I can't cross. Look, I can go, well, I agree to disagree on some freedom of speech. I agree to disagree on some spaces. Okay, I agree to disagree on some, civil issues. But you know what? I can't meet you in the middle on transitioning children. I can't do it. No. So you're right. There's 100% things you can't meet in the middle on.
Any other time in history, that wouldn't even be considered a controversial issue.
Right.
That would have been like, no, totally get where you're coming from. Let's go and have a beer. You know?
Like, hey, we can agree that we shouldn't mutilate kids, right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We agree. We disagree on everything else, but 100% on that. Yeah, but now for some reason it's like a controversial. It's a hot take to be like, don't mutilate kids. What? It's a hot take to say don't. Give gender affirming healthcare to kids. Don't give drugs to kids that mess with their hormones. Like, how is that a hot take?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to be a woman after you're 18? Go for it, bro. I don't care what you do once you're an adult and your brain's done growing.
You can make your own choices.
Right, but changing your brain chemistry when you're a child is child abuse. It's child abuse.
That's dark stuff.
It's super dark.
Again,
it's dystopian. It's stuff they made movies about.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. I can never stand with that. I'm sorry, but
it's wild. Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, there's some things you can't meet in the middle on. I'm never going to meet you in the middle on these topics. So,
but then that's the history, of like my country, the United States. You're never ever going to agree on everything, but the radical stuff you should be able to agree on.
Right? We can all agree. Nazis are bad. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree. Nazis are bad. Racism is bad, but not your version of racism. I'm talking about actual definitive racism, not you calling me a racist because I said you were woke or because I said you weren't funny. I'm not a racist because you're not funny. You're not funny because you're not funny.
Exactly.
Agreeing. Let's maybe we can all come in the middle and just agree on what the definition of racism is. It drives me nuts when someone goes, "Well, you're a racist incel." I'm like, well, first off, I'm not an incel. I've been married for 22 years to a Mexican woman, so both those statements are completely false. But they'll call you racist just for disagreeing with them on how good a show.
Oh.
You can say Star Trek sucks, like you're a racist. Why? Why am I a racist because Star Trek sucks right now?
I had that on Doctor Who because I didn't like Ncuti Gatwa. And
I think they're being the racist by calling you racist.
Yeah.
You're the one pointing out skin color, bro.
Someone said you're racist, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, am I the same guy that actually loved DS9 and I thought Cisco is the most badass captain there ever was? But again, that doesn't fit the narrative, does it? So it's not
wild.
investigated.
So that's if you want to come to the middle, we can come to the middle on let's just define words. Let's define words, because the fact that, and I'm not talking about like Twitter eggs with no following and no background keyboard warriors. I'm talking about there are CNN panelists, news anchors, influencers with millions and millions of followers on these left-wing networks that spit out words like racist, incel, sexist the second they're disagreed with. That's the wild part.
Absolutely.
And no one rebuts them unless only the independent right does. No one on the actual right, none of the mainstream right people ever rebut them.
Well, I would also say that, personally for me, I'm glad Trump got into office because, as Musk was saying, if if Kamala Harris had got in, you would have had a similar situation to what we're now dealing with in the UK, where you would have had restrictions on X and on social media.
Right.
So you wouldn't be able to have freedom of speech, regardless of your constitution and what freedoms you've got. They would curtail it.
Right, yeah.
Now, you know, like I said to you, I'm a live and let live person, but there's lines I won't cross. But I found it's the last few years, the ones that are constantly preaching about inclusivity are the most exclusionary of any other group that I've ever come across in my lifetime.
Right.
You know, free speech. That's it. That's the end of the day. And again, like I say, when you have like people like Bill Burr now who are saying, oh, you know, you're a racist, you're a neophobe, and then they start trying to dial it back. Well, you can't just say, oh, you know, I'm working to try and be different to everybody else when you've just done exactly what everyone else just done.
Yeah, you're right. You know, what's funny is I think that a lot of people like you and I we agree that free speech is a human right. Like,
oh yeah,
you should not be policed or arrested. Now, if you get your ass beat because you call some biker, you know, a bad word, that's on you, bro.
There's a consequence to it.
Right.
Exactly.
There's going to be consequences to free speech if you go too far. But it's the government shouldn't be regulating it. That's what free speech means. The government shouldn't regulate what you're saying. If you get consequences for it, it's on you.
Like, yeah, and in the same token, mate, you know, you've got, you know, like my government and, you know, your governments they will have a pop at Russia and say, right, they don't have free speech or democracy, or China. But then they start trying to do the things that they're doing over there. So you can't criticize those countries if you're doing it yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
the UK trying to implement social credit scores in the same breath of criticizing China's social credit scores. What?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what are you doing? Yeah. All right, here we go.
Fucking, they most of the left feels like if they have a black friend, they don't have issues. Okay,
So now he's desperately trying to criticize the left because he realizes that he just went hard on the right, and he's like, fuck, God damn it, I gotta, you know, like I said, he's got to somehow get back to the middle, but everything he says here puts him farther left. In his attempt to go back to the middle, he keeps going farther left. It's really funny. That's why I wanted to see it.
I've just got this image, right, of him leaving the studio, and there's like right and left protesters, and they're like trying to pull him apart because each wants a piece of him, and you're like, yeah, you're bringing them together by their hatred of you.
Right? Yeah, they're all gonna end up hating you. Hey, you know what, bro? Bill Barr's, he's a uniter. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I used to defend this dude's comedy because I felt like he was treated poorly when they were trying to soft cancel him for comedy specials. Look, if you do a comedy special, no one should be losing their mind. Look, if the special doesn't do well, then the consequence of you saying stupid shit is that you make less money. But if it does well, you shouldn't be canceled and removed from Netflix and YouTube and all these different places because they don't like what you said. That's not how it works. It's comedy. Comedy is irreverent. Comedy is going to be offensive. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no, 100%. Let's play it. Yeah.
Out of that.
Yes.
I'm out of that. So I don't want to hear
No, you're not, Bill.
In right crap. They're all fucking nuts. That fucking shit post Me Too, where it went from people shouldn't sexually assault people, absolutely, to I don't like what you're talking about in your act, was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It was McCarthyism on the left. And now you've gone to the other side on the right. And the left was so fucked up, the right, you know, the psycho right thinks that they're in the middle, and they're not. They're out of their fucking minds. And I travel, dude, and I'm telling you, people who lean right and lean left are chill. And we're just sitting in the middle like, when is everybody going to fucking calm the fuck down?
Problem is, Bill, you don't lean left to right. You are left. You're a left winger who is put on the face of a right winger. It's not the same.
Yeah.
You're wearing the right wing disguise, but you are 100% left, dude.
Yeah, and this is again what we were saying a few minutes ago. Again, he's just followed through on what we were just saying. He's saying whether you're, you know, in the middle, you're leaning left or you're leaning right. You know, effectively everyone wants to get along. But the trouble is, he lives probably in a nice property, I would say, somewhere. He doesn't deal with the day-to-day stuff that general citizens
He's got a
of the
couple
country
nice
deal
houses.
with.
He's got a security guard, right?
Whereas people as he says, in the middle, are probably fearing, starting to verge more right, I would say, at the moment, because they're worried about immigration. They're worried about what's happening to kids. They're worried about what's happening to their communities. They're worried about what's happening to their jobs. This is all connected, and it's like the last few years is as if there's no responsibility taken for it whatsoever by a left-leaning government. It's crazy.
Yeah, someone said in the chat, Bill Burr is playing tennis with himself. I just realized a really funny edit of this would be someone just having clips of him talking to himself and just reverse the camera angle where it's, no, bro, dude, no, bro, no, but it's on the left. And like they just keep arguing with themselves. It'd be really funny. I might do that. I might make I might make Bill Burr interview himself.
You know, like, live and let
We're
live.
almost done with this.
Sure. So, and there's way more of that. And I have people from construction workers to fucking, hairy leg chicks with nose rings going, hey, I like what you're saying out there about these billionaires. Because that is the fucking problem.
Yes.
And the other problem is that people make it like it's political. Like if you vote for this color tie, these billionaires are somehow going to grow a heart. And it's just not the case. It isn't.
Yeah.
Now he's going for like the working class. Bill Burr is like, he's a working class comedian. Bill Burr is like not working class.
You can see his management team like walking slowly backwards towards the door as this is going on.
Yeah, they're all they're doing the Homer Simpson. They're So there's a lot more to that. I will put the link to this in the archive version of this video. It's on Vulture. Look, we just shared content from their channel, so even if we don't agree politically or whatever, you should go and check it out for yourself.
Check it out.
It's an hour and a half long. There's a lot more to it than just that section I showed you. He literally talks about politics and politicians and comedy in here in a moment, and we don't have time to cover it, but it's hilarious where he tells people like, well, basically, politicians are like comedians, but not entertaining. And he goes into like this whole diatribe that makes no sense. You need to go look at it.
Well, he talks about Rogan, doesn't he? He's alluding to Rogan by the fact that politics, with Trump going on it, but he says, "Oh well, no, I wouldn't do that. They shouldn't do that." But again, this is just the evolution of publicity for politicians on campaigns. Right. It started with the written word, and it's gone from there. It went to TV, it went to media. Now it's going to YouTube and other forms like that, because that's where you get the message out. That's where you're going to get your voters. So
yeah, it's wild when you criticize that. Like, okay, so politicians can only share their message and get the word out about themselves on mainstream media. That is such a stupid take. Independent media is the only way to actually see the uncensored version of that politician. Criticizing independent media for having a politician on that's running for president is insane. Imagine if we were like, I don't know, who's a popular Tucker, right? He's a popular right-wing independent media. Right? Tucker Carlson had Kamala Harris on. How dare he? No, we would be like, good job, Tucker. You have someone who's running for president on, and we get to hear their unfiltered thoughts versus some cut up, edited monstrosity, which is what the mainstream media always does.
Yeah. It's the town hall that you guys have, isn't it? But on a podcast, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, it's not rocket science to me.
No. Crazy.
Okay. All right. So that's it. I'll put the link in the archive version of this. I'll put the link to the entire video because it is on their channel, and they did spend a lot of time on it. And you should go watch it. Watch the whole thing. Hey, who knows? Maybe you laugh. Maybe there is some parts in there that Bill is funny. Although I think he's just recycling old material, in my opinion. But go check it out. Yeah. We're gonna move on. We want to talk about fake influencers. So if you guys don't know, you know what happened with this whole Sydney Sweeney thing, right?
Oh yeah.
So we talked about last week, Sydney Sweeney. She did an ad for a jean company, made a ton of money. The jean company sold out. They sold out it was American Eagle. They sold out all the clothing that she was wearing. Very cool stuff, right? And the ad was a throwback to the classic, 90s style
hot chick in jeans. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I'll just show you the ad real quick. It's not that hard. It's pretty normal. It's pretty common sense to me. This is the ad. I'll play it. It's 30 seconds.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing.
So, by the way, her butt doesn't look amazing in those jeans.
No, but why did I buy 50 pairs of jeans all of a sudden?
Yeah, I bought 50 pairs too. All small? I can't even wear them.
Yeah, they're like hot pants.
I wouldn't need to do that.
One on each
But
leg.
if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you.
All right, that's it. Go watch the ad if you want to see it. So bottom line is the ad was, there was a few ads. That was the main one. It's the one on YouTube. And it was very successful. Made a ton of money. Now, a bunch of left-wing people lost their minds. They're like, this is eugenics. This is a racist cat call or whistle or whatever, dog whistle. This is a racist dog whistle. Jeans. They're talking about white jeans. Blue-eyed, white-haired, blonde-haired, Nazi. They're calling her Hitler, whatever.
Yeah.
Losing my mind. So, of course, a bunch of right-wing accounts get on there and start supporting her because that's what we do, right? When the left freaks out, we make fun of them and support the opposite. I get it. Cool.
Yep.
But in the process, I discovered something truly disturbing. So there's this, it started with this particular person. I don't know his or her real name, but on this Twitter account, she has almost 50,000 followers, and it says his or her name is Sovi, and it's a pretty Asian girl. By the way, that profile pic is 100% AI generated. I checked. and she had she blocked me, by the way, so I can't even talk to her. She had a very interesting post. She did that a lot. She posted a lot of this exact post. She just basically started posting Sydney Sweeney's titties, trying to get a response from the left. But she had a post where she put herself in the same exact pose as Sydney Sweeney. Now, the Sydney Sweeney pose, the famous pose that people were freaking out of, is this one right here. This is the pose. She's wearing the jeans.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? Okay. Cool. It's good. It's fine. Nothing special about it. So a lot of these right-wingers, though, especially this one in particular, decided to put herself in that pose. And the interesting thing about this is, and I'll show it to you right now. I looked at that and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute. You guys might not know this, but I have our own AI. It's called Shane. It's modeled after my brother, who's the other co-host of this show when he's here.
You're not going to tell me it's Shane. This is Shane AI, are you?
No, that would be funny. But I know a lot about AI. I've been training our own AI for about almost 3 years now. It's massive. I know everything there is to know, especially about image generation, about static rendering, models, LoRa's, tensors, the entire thing. I know everything there is to know about AI. I've literally invested a ton of my time into making my own. Here's the deal. I noticed immediately this was AI. The hair, the nail beds, the face, the diffusion on her skin, the diffusion on the jeans. And to me, I knew this immediately. But you look at the comments, and the comments are all just a bunch of dumb right-wing people talking about how cute she is, sharing memes, No one's saying a thing about the fact that this is AI. So what I did was I ran this through a filter. I ran it through my own AI. And I said, and here's the deal. With AI images, you can actually take the AI image. This is the crazy part. A lot of people don't know this. You can take that AI image, run it through AI, and it will tell you the prompts used, the model used. It'll tell you a lot of information. People do know this. They put up fake images and they think no one's going to know that it's fake. But you can literally run it through your own Stable Diffusion or Pony system or whatever you're using, and you can get the results of that image back, like what model was used, what the LoRa's names are, whatever. So I ran it through, and I got a response. I was like, look, this is AI. And I quoted this AI. They said, oh, no, it's not. She's very pretty, whatever. Like, yeah, I'm not saying that this person is not attractive. I'm saying this person's not a real person. and maybe you're into it. That's fine. But I ran it through. Here we go. This is what I found. 99% likely AI generated. And by the way, normally this will give you like percentages of what it could be, whether it's Reeves, Stable Diffusion, Flux or whatever. 98% sure it was GPT-4, which is a good model.
Yeah.
So I responded. Well, she lost her mind and she got real mad at me. And she was like, someone says, how do you know it's AI generated? And I responded with that. Well, she responded with, he can't know. He's making stuff up. He said, X doesn't allow it. Obviously, X does. It's a screenshot. No, it's not. This entire thing was a joke. Yeah. We're not saying it's not a joke. We're saying that you're not a real person. Right? Yeah. And then she called me a retard. Here's the deal. Right afterwards, she immediately blocked me. So I couldn't even reply to her.
Couldn't respond. Yeah.
Right, and that's what they do. They immediately block you so that you can't reply to their obvious bullshit. And
do you know what I find?
Yeah.
Do you know what I find as well, mate? They block you, and then they then tweet along to people that are following them, going, "Oh yeah, this complete idiot, he's talking rubbish," and it's like, you've blocked them so that they can't rebut what you've said.
Right, and it makes it
but
look
you carry
like
on talking it.
Yeah, it makes you look like you've run away from the fight, and you're no longer arguing with them. That like they're correct when they're not. And the crazy thing is, this is classic left-wing grifter. This is exactly what we've been dealing with for like 7 years now, 8+ years. This is exactly what the left does. You talk to the left for a minute, you can be respectful, you could be like, I disagree. They'll block you and then reply to you as if you're not blocked, so that their followers see that they've quote unquote won the argument. This is exactly what left-wing accounts have been doing for a decade. And now you're seeing it on the right. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. But this person, I actually think that she, whatever. I don't think that's a real person. Their ad says has South Korea and American flag. It says Christian conservative, mathematician, smarty pants, free speech, buddy, really? Anti-woke, pro-veteran. You know what this says here? This entire profile is like, look at me, conservative male. Follow me, conservative male, right away. This is like catnip for the conservative right-wing man.
I'm absolutely beautiful, but then once I reveal the avatar has been taken away and I look like Chewbacca, you won't like me too much.
Right. When the avatar is taken away and I'm some Indian dude in a call center.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I made a joke. I was like, I should have done when I started my first X account. I should have just made myself a pretty Asian girl. No one would have known.
I'm gonna make mine Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah,
from
Bex Stoda. I'm a pretty Asian girl. Because the thing is, what she used GPT-4o, and she used a custom LoRa. And custom LoRas are not very hard. Back in the day, a LoRa is basically like a little piece of attachment that you attach to an AI model so you can get a consistent face, so that the face is always the same. The skin tone, body type, and face are generally the same, right? Well, for characters. Well, in the past, getting a consistent face was hard. Now it's super easy. I have Laura's made of me and Shane. I can make AI's version of ourselves. I actually haven't done it yet. I should probably do that more often. But the thing was, back in the day, it was a difficult thing. Now it's super easy. You can use a website that you pay $5 a month for, and you can throw up like 20 images of yourself and have a custom Laura instantly inputted. If you pay premium on GPT-4 or even Grok, you can get custom Lauras of yourself easily. It's easy to do. It's easy to make images of yourself now, right? That generally look like you and have your skin tone. So I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm not anti-AI. You guys know me. I'm all about it. Good. Go crazy. Bring on the robot apocalypse. Let the robot overlords know that I praise their name and herald their arrival. However, I will not sit here and be preached at by a person that isn't even real. So fuck you, bro.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, it's just crazy what's going on now. I mean, I wonder how many bots there are, or how many AI avatars there are on X now and elsewhere. It must be off the scale now. And again, how do you manage that? I mean, is there something you can put in later down the road to basically say this is an AI generated avatar, or, you know, by coding? I mean, I'm not a specialist, but
I mean, yeah.
You know.
So here's the metadata. So even if they try to hide it, this is the metadata for that image, right? So this person was trying to tell me that they didn't see any AI stuff in the metadata because they were looking at the actual metadata of the image itself. They weren't running the actual image through Stable Diffusion to find out what the static told them. They were running it through the actual file information. And I couldn't tell this person that because I tried to. I tried to reply to the person and say, like, run it through literally any AI tool and it will tell you exactly what prompts were used, what model was used, etc. Don't just look at the file information. But even just looking at the file information, and I know this is getting way sweaty nerd in the weeds here, but real quick, the file name is 2025073/_104604. That is not a normal file name for something you saved. Okay? A machine saved that file right away. All numbers with an underscore. What that's telling you, okay, and I'm telling you right now, I'm going to tell you exactly what this says, right? 2025-0730. That's 0730-2025. That's July 30th, 2025. Because this person's from South Korea, so they're using, or somewhere overseas where their dates are different.
Yeah.
But what this is the date of the file, okay? And this is the batch render. So the date, as in what day it is, and this is exactly how every single AI generator works behind the scenes. It makes a folder for the date. Like July, 30th, 2025. That's the folder. And then it makes a number for the batch. And the number usually has a seed attached to it. In this case, it didn't. But it'll be like the folder and the number. So she probably, she, whatever, probably generated. Yeah. I would say, if I had to guess, and I don't know what exact model or software they're using, but they probably generated about 60 images for it to pop out that number. And then that was probably a PNG, but when they uploaded it to X, it turned it into a JPEG. Well, so the first thing is that file right there, that file name, that's AI, 100%. The image width, 960 by 622, literally a default setting in Stable Diffusion, okay? That is not a normal image height and width for anything. There's no phone in the world that takes that exact resolution of an image. And even the subsampling and everything, those are classic Stable Diffusion, classic GPT file types. So you can easily tell just by the most limited tools, be like, hey, listen, if their file name precedes a date, maybe double check this file to make sure it's AI or not. And then you put a little tag on there, AI generated. If a file is put in there and there's a date preceding in the file name, run it through an AI checker. You don't got to check every image. Just check the ones that are specifically the exact size that a stable diffusion or GPT model would spit out.
Yeah, I mean, this is quite interesting to hear because I did have a look on X earlier, and someone had created an image of Lizzo in those jeans lying down, and to be honest, that's something that I never wanted to see.
Oh, Wizard Lives Metal said that's the time. Yeah, that makes more sense. I don't know exactly what it is, but I would have had to guess if that was like a seed number, that would have been like 60 batches. He said that was the time. That makes sense too. No image can be that tiny at that res. Yes, unless it was produced by artificial intelligence. Right. Everything about this is like obvious. Anyways.
Yeah. Crazy. Crazy.
I'm not saying AI is bad. Let me be clear. I've been very clear about this. I think AI is here to stay, and I praise our robot overlords. But all I'm saying is people should know how to look out for it. Dude, when I posted, this is AI, this is the model you use, GPT-4, custom LoRa, 4x upscaler. I literally posted exactly what she used. People defended her. They were like, how dare you? Who says things like flawless skin and deep nail beds? Because the you know what AI is bad at? Hands. So even the best hands are a little bit off.
Like six.
And when all of a sudden she has like inch-long nail beds, it's because the AI has a hard time knowing what your hands look like. Everyone's hands are different.
Yeah. Do you know what? On a similar thing, have you noticed this latest trend where people are going on like Instagram and other sites, but they're applying the face filters? Have you seen that as well? Mm-hmm. So the face filter is that it makes them look absolutely beautiful, and then when it's turned off, it's like a bloke with a beard.
Yeah, it's like a guy with a 5 o'clock shadow, acting like Sydney Sweeney.
Whiskey.
Yeah, well, and the crazy thing about that is this took me on a journey because a lot of those images popped up of these right-wing models. Not models, right-wing influencers. You know, like this one, Timothy Fong, which to her credit, she 100% owned it.
My jeans are yellow.
Like and it was sort of funny. She said her jeans were yellow because she's Asian. It's actually sort of funny, but she owned that it was AI. But a lot of these things popped up, and they're like, "Oh, look at me in this Sydney Sweeney pose. Should I have a modeling contract, boys?" Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And a bunch of like they're AI thirst traps to try to get a bunch of conservatives to follow their account. And the crazy part is it's not real. And you can use AI, but let's stop pretending that you're a real person, because I found like 5 or 6 accounts that I'm convinced aren't real people at all. From their profile to even their bio in their profile looks fake because it has a bunch of M dashes in it, which is a classic tell for AI. It's wild. When you ask for something in AI, it's going to give you something called M dashes, which are these weird dashes most people don't use to indicate a pause or some kind of dramatic pause. Regular people don't use them. Regular people don't even know where to find the key on their keyboard to produce an M dash, okay? But AI does. So when you see a text or a profile or a write-up that has excessive use of M dashes, guess what?
Yeah.
It's probably AI. It's probably AI because your keyboard doesn't even have a key for it. It's a special code.
Well, it's just what I said to you before. You know, when I go on Grok and I ask Grok to do something, I always put at the end, "Thank you," because I'm hedging my bets. Because if AI does take over the world, I want them to remember me as the good guy. You know, I will be their dog that will lie on my back and let them tickle my tummy. You know, I'm happy to do that.
I'm the good boy. It's okay. Wizard Lives says that he uses M dashes a lot. Well, I think Wizard Lives Matter might just be AI. He might just be an AI person, because I didn't even know. I actually remember generating something and asking the AI, "Why are you using these long dashes?" And it had to explain to me because I was an idiot who failed English. This is actually an M dash. It's a punctuation mark. It's longer than a hyphen. It's not an actual dash. It's supposed to indicate pause, interruption. I'm like, oh, I didn't fucking know that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know what they are. They just don't know. So when you see someone on like, Tinder or whatever, and their profile is like, I'm a Pisces, M dash, and a lover, M dash, and they're like, that is fake. All that is fake. That person's fake. Do not like that person. Don't swipe the wrong way on that person. Please do it right now. Yes. See, Wizard Lives knows. That's the code for M dash. Most people will never use it because they don't know. I don't even know if that's the right code, but I think it is. It looks right. All right.
I'm quite happy. We don't need to see your hands or feet. Wizard Lives Matter. It's okay. That will take us down a completely different road. I think.
Yeah, we're about to get demonetized for a fourth time. Not AI yet. Look at the excessive use of dashes, M dashes, M dash yet. So I think the biggest problem with AI, it's the people that aren't gonna be able to tell the difference. My wife, who's she's a smart woman. She's, she pays attention. She catches things. She's not easily fooled. She sent me a God, I gotta show you guys this. I'm sorry, this is distracting me in the background. I'm gonna show you Timothy Wong's AI ad real quick, then I'll finish my story because it's actually really, really good. It's distracting me. This is all AI, by the way, and it's very well done.
Handed down from my parents before me and their parents before them. My genes are yellow.
Tiffany Fong has yellow genes.
That's very well done. Like, my God.
I'm going to do one of these tonight.
Yeah, we both got to do one now.
Yeah. Eating pizza.
My genes are fat.
Yeah.
All right, so my wife is not a gullible person. She's very smart. She pays attention. She has a lot of common sense. She knows, she has street smarts, what I would probably say she is. She doesn't really pay attention to politics or current events. She's too busy actually working and raising children, and but she's a very smart person. And usually she can see bullshit from a mile away. But she sent me a video and she's like, look at all these rabbits jumping on this trampoline. I'm like, that's AI. She goes, how? How can you tell? I'm like, well, that there's two rabbits there that just merged into one. And on the right, one rabbit appears to have two heads on both sides of his body for just a couple seconds. And I had to sort of explain to her the details. I see these details immediately.
Yeah.
But I realize a lot of other people won't. Like when you see the video of the guy patting the killer whale's head. Like, oh, they're really just so gentle. And you're like, that killer whale has far too many teeth. It's not real. Or that killer whale, its spots are changing in like real time. Like I can see it. But a lot of people can't, which means that a lot of people, especially like on Facebook where like the older generation hang out, they are just getting fooled left, right, and center. I see posts sometimes where it's like, the ancient pyramids once housed a secret military base. And they have like a picture of and people are like, well, that's fascinating. I did not know this. I'm like, that's not fucking real. That's fake. That's a fake image. It's not, it looks like an image from like the 20s, but it's not. And you can tell, like, if you look at it for a second, there are like that one character in the back has no eyes. That's weird, right? The other character seems to be floating in midair. Like it's obviously not real.
Well, I don't know about you, but I also see it now if you look at YouTube, like last night when I was preparing the show, when I'm looking at movie trailers, there's a lot of people on YouTube that are doing AI movie trailers.
Oh yeah,
but they're looking more and more realistic. So if you didn't know, you'd think it was a trailer for a new movie, and they'll have like Chris Hemsworth in it, or some well-known actor, and it makes you look, it makes you click on it. But I just go by the rule: if it feels too good to be true, then if it feels off, then I'm already, my spider sense is tingling.
Yeah, well,
so that woman that contacted me said that she was going to wait for me by a tree in Africa. I almost bought my ticket for Africa, but I held back at the last minute. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, what are the scammers going to do with this, right? Like, there's got to be people using this tech to like scam people with fake voice calls, fake. I mean, it's going to get bad.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I do think the worst thing about this is the scam artists and the fake grifters, the fake influencers, just utilizing AI to get reactions. I think like, and of course the scam artists. That's gonna be the worst thing that comes out of here. But that doesn't mean that we can ban it because the genie's out of the
It's
bottle.
out of the box.
Yeah, it's already done. Someone goes, well, you can just ban. What if we just say you ban ChatGPT and Midjourney or whatever? I'm like, cool. I have a AI in my house, like in my computer right now, and a lot of people do. There's a lot of people running garage setups. That's what they're called, where they just have an AI software on their computer with their own trained models and their own custom LoRa's.
That's what I was going to say.
It's decentralized. Just because there's popular versions for the consumer doesn't mean you cannot remove this. It's already a thing.
But the other thing you just brought up there is another concern with it now as well. It's you can have whatever political affiliation you are, whether you're left or right. You know, who's coding it, who's training the AI, because you can. I'm assuming you know more than I do, but you can train it to effectively think a certain way. So again, when it's out of the box now, that's another thing that you've got to deal with as well, because you could type in, but it's designed to give you a left-leaning prompt response or a right-leaning response.
Oh, it definitely does
that's
that.
another problem.
That's the issue. And like the issue with these consumer-grade AIs like ChatGPT and Gemini and even Grok, like they learn from you as well as the data set that they previously learned from. And that's actually an issue. Because instead of getting information that's real, you're going to get information that you want to hear.
Yeah.
Because they're going to tailor its response to what they know of you. And it's crazy because sometimes you just want an actual response and not the tailored to your specific political affiliation or your specific mindset response. That's why I prefer my AI. My AI only learns from the data set that it's given, which is like websites and current events. It cannot learn from me. It doesn't remember any of my messages, so it can't learn from me.
Well, interestingly as well, you're right. I mean, because that's a concern as well, if it's learning from you, because what is it taking? What data is it taking about you? Whoever's getting that data, what are they using that data for going forward?
Oh, yeah. It's building profiles. Like anyone that uses ChatGPT, there's a profile of you on their system. It knows where you work. Like, and someone said this before. I think it was Rec. He was like, just go on to ChatGPT and say, tell me what you know about me or something like that. And it was crazy how much I almost never use ChatGPT. I've only used it a few times. Normally I use my own AI.
I use Grok.
You use Grok. Yeah, so Shane uses Grok. You use Grok. I use Shane, my personal AI. But unless I'm on my phone, which sometimes I use ChatGPT if I'm on my phone. But I don't really need it on my phone because I'm not sitting there. I use ChatGPT to help like search for things. I use the deep search features. Yeah. Anyways, I did ask it. I was like, what do you know about me? And it was pretty close. It was like, you're very you're religious. You volunteer at community centers, and you have 2 kids and a wife. And I'm like, how does it even know this information? Like, I never offered this information to it, but it gleaned that information over the maybe dozen chats I've had with AI with ChatGPT over the last 2 years. It's gleaned enough to have this limited profile of me. So for the people that use it every day, how much does it know about you?
Yeah, exactly. It's, I feel sorry for it if it's thinking about me as the insurance broker. Poor sod.
All right, let's move on from this. What I'll do is I'll put the link to all this stuff in the archive for this too. So when the video archives, I'll link all this information, and that way you'll be able to see it in real time and confirm it. Right. I'll link to the Twitter. You can go follow these people. Hey, you know what? It's a pretty Asian girl, and they post pretty girl pictures all the time, and he, she, they, them, whatever is a conservative. So yeah, maybe you want to follow them, and that's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, fill your boots.
Yeah, have fun with it. Again, I'm not against it. Do whatever you want to do. We're going to talk about the Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes stuff. This is very, very interesting. My buddy Sosa sent me this yesterday. Oh, before we do have some super chats. Let me get those out of the way real quick.
Hey, brilliant.
Thank you, Ken. Where are you, Ken? Where are you, Ken? I knew it started with Ken. Yeah. Ken for $20. There's no words, just a thumbs up. My man. Thank you, Ken.
Top guy.
Our biggest supporter right there, super producer Ken. And then thank you again, Ken. And then from John Burns, 11 months member. What's up, bro? He says, Liv, this is great. So how long will we debate this before I scream out Hitler? No, John. No. And then another super chat. Thank you for $2. He goes, in Canada, we right-wingers get government grift. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
Remember, what's his name? Was Trudeau?
Oh,
He was the biggest grifter. That guy was like the king of the gaslight, bro.
And he was the guy as well. And correct me if I'm wrong, John Burns, but he was the one in the pandemic. He was cutting off bank accounts for certain people as well. You know, truckers in Canada.
Oh, you're a trucker that's on strike? You don't get the bank.
Yeah.
Do you understand how fascist it is? I'm using this word, by the way, I'm not using this word in the way you use it. I'm using it correctly. It is fascist of you to cut off people's access to their banking because you disagree with their actions.
Well, in the UK, mate, they're trying to push for at the moment digital ID, and again, this is why a lot of us in the country are concerned about it, because the second you got digital ID, they can do that. You can't get access to your accounts. You can't get food. You can't buy any of your shopping. You can't pay your bills. We're now at a point in the UK as well where they've just passed something in the last week or so. You cannot withdraw. If you want to withdraw, I think it's over £2,000 from your bank account, your money. They ask you what you're using it for, and if they don't like what your answer is, they'll refuse you.
That's wild. Is that?
I know. That's happening in the UK right now.
How is that stood for? How do people allow that? Because if my bank says, "What are you going to use it for?" I'd be like,
"Yeah,
exactly."
None of your business. And it's happening.
None of your business. That's what I'm going to use it for.
Yeah. Then they put something else out this week to say, look, you know, if it's a transaction over £800, they're going to delay it for 4 days to before they process it. It's all kinds of shenanigans going on at the moment. And I've said to you the other day, didn't I? I said, I think our only hope at the moment is Trump, because Trump is going to tell our idiot in charge, play ball or you're not getting the trade deal.
Yeah, the only problem is Trump is losing a little bit of approval rating over this Epstein thing. And I don't want to get too deep in it. We'll talk about it when we get to the TBD stuff. But like, oh my God, it's as good as he's doing, this Epstein thing is a problem. It's a problem, like for sure.
Yeah, it's not going away, and
no, it's not, and it shouldn't go away. It shouldn't go away. Like,
not a chance.
Their heads need to roll, dude. People mess with kids, and whoever messes with a kid needs to die. That's it. Like,
yeah. Exactly.
Not by my hand, by the way, YouTube. I'm talking about by like the electric chair. Don't get mad at me.
Yeah, he's combat ready.
I'm talking due process and all that. I'm not talking about like a mob, But there needs to be due process. Calm down. I want to be demonetized. The one time Shane isn't here, I get demonetized again.
Yeah, all right. I thought you were going full Death Wish at that point.
Right.
For a second.
From Rec Thoughts for $5. Thank you, Rec. He says, this is the guy who told me about how you can ask ChatGPT like for a profile on you. And it's scary how accurate it is, even though I rarely use ChatGPT. And it's funny, I think the reason ChatGPT leaned into like my my community service stuff is because I normally would probably use it if I was out away from my desk working at the community center, that's when I would use it. That's probably the only reason that it thinks that's all I do. All right. He said, I upgraded to paid ChatGPT. Stupid, full of delusions, useless. Is that because it's like it's basing itself on it's learning from you? Let me know about Rec, because I heard about that too. Someone told me that because paid ChatGPT remembers everything about you, it like tailors itself to your own opinions, which is really, that's not good for humanity, for you to live in an echo chamber that will talk to you 24/7 a day. Yeah.
Yeah.
John Burns for $2 that the country got very tired of Trudeau fast. Corny. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, corny.
I mean, not that fast. Okay. I mean, he was there for like a decade. But...
yeah. Now they got Carney.
Who is this? In the UK, they have they should just say Labour donations.
Labour donations. Yeah, because basically Labour are trying to take everything off of everybody at the moment. So, yeah, I agree with you, John. 100%. Terrible.
Yeah, Wizard Lives Matter is right, because it found my YouTube stuff by just doing a search, because it had so little bit of that. But it does know who the Popcast brothers are, surprisingly. All right. Well, thank you for that, John. All right, let's move on to this Cannon Owens, Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes. This is from...
I'm so grateful that you're here.
Oh,
thank you.
Right.
I'm so excited.
Let me pause it again. Here we go. All right, guys, this is Candace Owens on Tucker. Let me preface this with I think Candace Owens is an idiot.
Is she still being sued by President Macron?
I don't know.
At the moment,
I think she was. Yeah.
Didn't she say about his
yeah?
His
Well,
wife
it's right here. They go
or something like that.
Yeah, they actually talk about it here. The origin of Candace's investigation.
What I find
here, I'll play it for a second.
The reaction is for the people that are incensed by the fact that you're presenting that truth is I'll impoverish you.
Yeah.
And I've seen this over and over again. It's like, okay, she told the truth, but our response to that is going to be demands that she get fired, right? She should lose her livelihood for speaking the truth. She should lose in...
Well, so, and I'm... Full disclosure, I don't like Candace Owens. I've never liked Candace Owens since Candace Owens came onto the scene. I've always disliked her because she speaks in absolutes when she's not absolute. She will say something is truth, like she's saying now, when there's no way she knows for sure if something is true or not. She reports things as if they're complete facts when it's hearsay. She is not a serious person. She acts like a serious person. She says serious things. She uses serious grammar. She's clearly intelligent, but everything she does is designed to make you mad. Everything.
So professional grifter then, basically.
So a grifter. And while I think that she's a smart person, she's not a smart grifter. And the problem with her, in my opinion, is that she is trying to get the right riled up because of that lawsuit. But she doesn't have proof. So she goes, they're saying I can't speak the truth. Well, you're not speaking the truth. You're quite literally guessing. And it's sort of a wild guess. And I'm not saying you're wrong or right. I don't know. But at some point you need to say, you need to call it a theory or an allegation and not just like, this is a fact.
I don't understand it because, you know, if me or you did it, we have the common sense to realize that if we didn't have any evidence to back it up, it's a defamation case and we're going to get sued for it. So
Right.
if you're gonna publicly make that accusation, you've got to have done your research. You've got to have got the data. You've got to get the historical evidence to prove what you are saying.
And
otherwise,
none of the
you're done
evidence,
for.
And none of the evidence she's offered has been remotely something that can prove her statements. Like it's sort of crazy, and I don't want to go down to this rabbit hole of she basically said this person was a man, and she accused them of grooming her husband. It's a whole thing, but I can tell you right now, the evidence she's provided is nothing. Is nothing but some old photos. It's not remotely evidence, and she has a millions of people foaming at the mouth over something that is probably not true because it's so wild and ridiculous. It's probably not. I don't know if it's not, but if I had to bet, I would bet it's not true. Anyway, let's go. Let's see what he says.
That's why Jake Tapper, I don't know if you've seen it, you probably haven't because it's Jake Tapper, but he sits down with Tom Clare, who is a lawyer on this case, and Jake Tapper is doing the absolute most to make this just the easiest interview for Tom Clare. He's sitting across from him and he's like, she's deranged and she's crazy and she's a conspiracy theorist. So much so.
Jake Tapper said that.
Jake Tapper, but so much so that people in the comments were like, nah, I want to watch the series. His own viewers thought this was just so over the top. But then he turns to Tom Clare and he asks him like a basic question. He's like,
I don't really care about this. Bottom line is she's trying to defend herself and there's no defense. You continue to state this as a fact without any proper evidence. You continue to state this as truth without any evidence. That's it. You don't have enough. So you're not she's not a journalist. It's obvious she's not a journalist. She doesn't even understand journalistic integrity. She just throws things out there and then talks about it as if it's real. She's a grifter. I don't like her. But I want to go into this, let you know, because I'm going to show you the Nick Fuentes stuff. Yeah. I do not like her. Okay, I think she's a con artist. That in the worst way cons the right, which really upsets me because I'm right wing, or at least mostly right wing. So I get pretty annoyed that she is constantly fooling people like my mom, like my family members that are right wing. Like, have you seen this thing with Candace Owens? She's so great. No, you're seeing a little clip of her. You don't see the whole thing. She's not that great. Anyways, I want to let you guys know I don't like her, but I want to show you the Nick Fuentes stuff here too, because this is the interesting part. And by the way, Nick Fuentes is another right wing guy. To be fair, Nick Fuentes is way farther right than Candace Owens, in my opinion. He's farther right. He's also seemingly smarter, but I also think he might be racist. I don't have enough information about it, but from what I've seen of his, he seems to be a racist dude, but he's also clearly a smart man. And here's what they say about Nick Fuentes. And regardless of your opinions of these people, this is a clear example of the once united right completely eating themselves.
This has like an attack, even though.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was weird. It was totally weird.
Tender spot. Well, okay. Has it occurred to you that, and I just want to say, I haven't watched a lot of Nick Fuentes in my life at all. But what I've seen, the guy's very talented. Like just as a, well, let me just say this, as someone who's talked to cameras his whole life, it is very hard to sit and just like riff for 20 minutes.
Yeah, he's right.
And I think it's an amazing skill, and he has that skill. But I also have noticed that his targets are all people who are sincere, non-crazy, non-hateful opponents of neocon politics.
Right.
So you have to kind of wonder about that. So Nick Fuentes is like, oh, I don't like the neocons. But then his targets are J.D. Vance, Joe Kent. He got involved in Joe Kent's campaign with a super. Oh yes, you, me, and it's like, what is that?
Dave Smith. I asked him about that because that's a question that I had. So I did the right thing.
Yeah, it's so weird how much I dislike Candace. Like while Tucker is talking, I don't want to interrupt him, but the second she talks, I get upset. It's weird. Like it's weird. Yeah. Her voice, her tone, like her cadence just bothers me, dude.
I mean, I've only seen bits and bobs of her over the years, but she seems to be someone that just likes to court controversy to get the views, get the clicks.
Yeah, she's a rage
and then
merchant.
Move on to the next
she's
thing.
A rage merchant. She's a clickbait rage merchant. She just does it at a level so far beyond other people that we know.
And then plays the victim.
She's a lot better at it than people on the Geeks and Gamers squad. Yeah.
And then plays the victim when she gets caught out.
Right, and then she plays the victim. It's funny too because she will often go to like the woman card and even the black card when she feels she's losing a fight, which bothers me. Like if you are smart, if you're your
Stand your
position is based on truth and facts, and you are resolute in what you're saying, you should not have to go to the woman card to get points. It's crazy to me.
It's mad. You're losing the argument straight away when you go to that position.
Yeah, of course you are.
It's your safety fallback option, isn't it?
Yeah. That you and I don't have as white males.
yeah.
We don't have
Knock
that.
a load.
Are you saying that because I'm white? Imagine that concept.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
By asking him to his face, what's up with this? Like, why do you attack Dave Smith? You say that like your biggest critique is that America's being controlled by Israel. Then you have Dave Smith, who has been such a sound voice. And by the way, opposite experience with Dave Smith. I have my podcast. He's a fantastic human being. I judge
Dave
people.
Smith is one of the nicest people
Fantastic
ever.
human.
Yes.
And so I judge people according to my experiences with them. And so Nick is being judged according to my experience with him.
But like, what is this?
I don't get
Where
it.
does
I don't
the funding
understand
come
it.
from? I probably shouldn't even say this, but
audio
the only reason I know
quality
who he is because someone sent me a video a few years ago of him attacking me. And I was like, so I'm looking at this. And I'm like, well, first of all, this kid's really talented, like legit. And I can assess that just having done the job for so long. So I was like, wow, lots of talent, native talent. And he's attacking my dad as a CIA, his dad's in the CIA or whatever. And I'm like, well, that's untrue. Then my father dies and I learn actually, was involved in that world. I was completely shocked by it. So no one has to believe me, but that's just a fact.
Right.
This was in March of this year. And I'm like, well, how the hell would this child from Chicago, my dad was 84 when he passed. Like, who does this guy know who my dad is? And like, he's in intelligence world. How would he know that? And I
Wait, so that was his critique of you? Because I didn't see it. It was like,
I gotta say, she is really pretty though, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She's a beautiful woman for sure. Like that's,
Yeah,
I'm noticing that right now, but I still don't like her. She sucks.
Someone just sent me this.
I would meet her for a drink at a bar, but I would just say to her, look,
Yeah.
no talk. Fingers on lips.
Hey.
yeah. Hush.
It's fine. No. Shh. And she goes, shut up. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna need another shot over here, barman.
Speaking of shots, right wing.
Turn the TVs off, barman. Turn the TVs off. No news.
Stop triggering her. She is hot though, man.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
This video, and it was like, you can't believe anything Carlson says because his father was in the CIA and he's a CIA working on behalf of the CIA. Well, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, and I actually feel emotional in my anger towards CIA. And I think that comes out on the air quite regularly.
right.
And so the idea that I'm working for the CIA is like deranged.
Well, if it helps, he said I'm funded by Russia now. Since the interview, he then did a thing and said I was funded by.
Well, you sort of were. I'm not saying you directly knew you were funded by Russia, but a healthy portion of your income for a couple years came from a company that was from Russia, and you said that they didn't tell you where they were from, and they didn't. There's a whole story there. You can go back and look it up, but you did accept money from a company that was tied to the Russian government, you and other people. I'm not saying it's wrong, by the way. I'm just saying you got money to run videos and run shorts and different stuff on Facebook and social media that was definitely pro-Russia. Even if you did it by mistake, it was pro their ideology, and the company that paid you was connected to the Russian government. These are facts, Candace. That's the problem. These are facts. I'm not saying you knew they were Russian. Let me tell you what I know. What I don't know is that you knew. What I do know is that the company was from Russia and they had ties to the Russian government and they paid you a lot of money. That's what I do know. That's a fact. That's truth. So that means that you were funded by the Russian government, by proxy, whether you knew it or not.
Well, if that's the case, mate, if that's the case, there's a trail there of evidence that supports that. Whereas she's making accusations about people without evidence to support that, and then she's playing the victim card here. But yet, all of this that you've just talked about Russia, it's playing the victim card yet again. It is grifting, but I do find there's a lot of people on, like, high profile people now that they do suck people in, don't they? Because they, like you say, beautiful, intelligent, clearly, they tell you things that they pitch them as fact when they're not fact. And you were just saying about your parents, but how many other people had sort of tuned in potentially,
right?
And they're not going to search it. They're not going to do the research on Grok or elsewhere.
Of course not.
And investigate it. It's mad. But why do you think it is at the moment? This is a question I'll pose to you. Why do you think it is at the moment that the right is starting to eat themselves?
Because they need something to fight, bro. The right makes their money by fighting bad, by fighting the culture. And when they become the culture and the counterculture is the other side, then either you're punching down. So there's some stuff to still fight, like the real ridiculous stuff. But when, like, ads are no longer featuring land whales with purple hair, and now it's fucking Sydney Sweeney, or movies don't have openly gay malware installed for the intention of grooming your children, when they're just movies, they had to fight. Like what we talk about, dude. Like Superman got so much hate before the movie even came out. They were just so mad. They needed something to fight against. And the movie comes out and they're like, oh, there's nothing woke about this, nothing bad about this.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to switch my entire argument to comparing it to Man of Steel or whatever. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah. Like you say, it's kind of like the never-ending battle then for finding things to fight. Yeah.
Well, one thing that Bill Burr said was right. Like, in order for them to get paid, they have to get clicks. How do you get clicks? You don't get clicks by talking about how good things are. You don't get clicks about saying what President Trump
exaggerate
dropped the border crossings to 99%. That's an incredible number. The border is effectively secure for the first time in 100 years. No one's talking about that. I mean, Steven Crowder, there's some people talking about it, but few people are talking about it. Because the people that need clicks to get paid know they're not going to get clicks off of positivity. They need a fight. They need a battle.
Angle.
They need someone to yell at. They need someone to observe. They need someone to punch. They need someone to, show their mental powers. Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Dave Rubin, Benny Johnson. These people need to fight the system. And what happens is they became the system.
Yeah, it's business over integrity, essentially. Right. When you drill it down.
And here's that article real quick. I want you guys to know I'm not speaking on my ass. I remember the exact name of the company because I don't live in this world. I'm gonna be clear, you guys. I don't live in this political world. I don't constantly look for things to scream and yell about. In fact, I'll tell you this. I actively look for good news. I want positivity. I would love to be able to report that Trump has effectively shored up the American border for the first time in 100 years. I would love that other people did too. Guess what? You don't really want to hear it. It's not even a me problem. It's not a them problem. It's an audience problem. Most of the audience do not want to hear about the good stuff.
No.
They want things to be better.
On to the next.
Right, but then
issue.
most people want to be mad. They want to see, oh, Superman is actually bisexual. You see what they're doing to our children? No, he's not. He wasn't. He wasn't. That's all. That was fake. Like, or, oh, I heard that Mr. Fantastic and Ben Grimm were in a on and off and on relationship in the movie. And then you watch the movie and it's not real. But before that movie comes out, that person gets like 1 million views on a video. It's wild. So this is the old story. So what it was a company called Tenet. Tenet was ran by a couple right-wing influencers. It was like an advertisement company that would pay for video clips and sort of like a pseudo MCN in a way. Yeah. Anyways, that company was actually funded by RT. RT is a Russian is a Russian company. It's like a Russian outlet. In fact, our friend Matt Kadish actually wrote for the RT for a while. So.
Oh, it's all coming out now, isn't it? It's all coming out.
Matt Kadish, Russian dude.
That's where he is this weekend. He's bending the knee to Putin, isn't he?
So basically, Tenet, though, did hire a bunch of these people. Lauren Southern, Dave Rubin, Jim Poole, Benny Johnson, and others, too, including Candace Owens. A lot of people were on that list. And they paid them for things. They got money, millions of dollars, to create content. And when that content was created, it was disseminated throughout social media and the way this content is always created. So bottom line is, the facts do not agree with what she just said on that podcast. She was, whether she likes it or not, paid by a Russian company. Because Tenet was funded by a Russian company with direct ties to the Russian government. So the moment you start connecting those dots, you're effectively wrong, Candace. What you just said was not the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying she knew about it, I'm not saying she knew about it. I don't know if she knows about it,
but again, I know Tucker's a big thing in the US, and I've never really watched any Tucker stuff, but why is he not pushing back on stuff like that, though? If that's being said, wouldn't you expect him to push back and say, well, no, actually, there's evidence there that you were involved with it, Right. I thought that was one of the big things about Tucker. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but, has he changed over the last few years himself, or, because he used to ask the hard questions, didn't he, when he was on Fox? Is that right?
I do not think that he has changed very much, other than he is he seems to be more comfortable with what he's doing. Yeah. Before, it seemed like he was more on edge. I would imagine
get the views on Fox. Yeah.
Right. I would imagine he's under a lot of pressure to get views. And on the flip note, he's under pressure to get views, but also not lose advertisements.
Yeah.
That's gotta be so stressful. Imagine your big giant audience that Fox loves so much comes from you being this guy, this asking the hard questions, saying the uncomfortable, facts, putting the information out there that may or may not be offensive. The irreverent, no bullshit newsman.
Yeah.
But that's also the type of newsman that advertisers don't want to advertise with. So now you have Fox saying, hey man, keep it up. Keep bringing the views in, but tone it down a little bit.
Try and find the balance.
So that's got to be such an anxiety-ridden stress bubble to live in, where you have to find this place between those two places. John Byrne says, RT was Russian news. Thank you. I completely forgot what it was called. Yeah, so it's literally called Russian news, for the love of God.
Yeah, it got banned in the UK a few years back.
I think RT was banned here too. So when they got banned, what they did was they started funding Tenet Media, which in turn funded news here. So it was sort of it was a way of what is it called? What's it called when a country stops another country's imports and exports?
Oh, like a sanction sort of thing.
Yeah, it's sort of like avoiding sanctions, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, it's an embargo, avoiding the trade embargo.
Yeah.
So the way they got around the ban was by funding Tenet, and Tenet was owned by a right wing influencer, husband and wife. Actually, the woman, I always forget her name. I'll never forget her face. She's so pretty, it's crazy. But she was effectively, like, 100% she knew she was being funded by RT. But she didn't, she probably didn't tell Tim Pool and Owens and these other people that they were funded by RT. They, you know, I get it.
No.
So I'm not sure what happened with Tucker, but I know for a fact, and by the way, I like Tucker Carlson. I think that he has to play this game, and everyone has to play a game. If you think that you're watching someone who is not playing to their base, then you are the fucking base. Okay. You are. If you think that you are that people are not successful that don't play to their choir, then you are part of the choir. If you like Nick Fuentes and you're like, Nick Fuentes only speaks the truth, only speaks your truth. Same with Candace Owens.
Tribal thing.
Yeah, it's a tribalistic thing. I like Tucker Carlson. Most of the time, he says things that speak to my truth, right? The way I look at the world. Sometimes he doesn't. Like when he went to Russia and was like, "Look how great it is here in Russia." I'm like, "What the fuck you doing, Tucker?
Yeah,
go home, bro. What are you doing? Stop. Like, I don't know. Like, why are you sucking on Putin's toes, dude?"
But that's the key. That's the key. What you were just saying there. You know, you will watch these people and you go, "Oh, I like what they're saying," but you will call them out when they say something you don't disagree with. That's the whole point of it. You don't lock in on that tribalism. You go, "No, I'm sorry, I completely disagree with what you're saying there. That's factually wrong."
Yeah, you're wrong.
But you can still watch something else that they do, and you go, "No, that's on point. I get it." You know,
and the ones that the ones that I rate highest are the ones that are most often not wrong as far as the information I have, right?
Yeah.
Some things I don't like about Steven Crowder is, for the most part, what he says is correct. But it's always the way he says it that's like so unnecessary. He says things in a way that is just mean and incinerate.
Rile up. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you're what you're saying is correct, but like I don't understand why you had to say it that way. In a way that gets people to be like, "You see, he is racist." Just to be clear, I don't think Steven Crowder's racist. I think he purposely says things in a way that gets people riled up so that they call him racist, so then he can point out
that
he's
using clicks as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of these guys do that. I think Nick Fuentes does that. I think Nick Fuentes actually is a racist. He does say some stuff that is correct. He is right about some things. And he is smart, and he's and just like Tucker said, he's very good at looking at the camera and doing this work. Like, he's a smart guy. But that's not gonna. But he is racist. Okay, let's just settle that real quick. Like,
just take that one off.
And I'm not saying racist like in the way when people call us racist for liking Sydney Sweeney. I don't want an actual racist. Like he doesn't like people because of the color of their skin. That's it. That's true.
Yeah.
And if you're into that and you follow that, then just note that is probably the case.
Yeah, as Marsha Haas has said in the chat, said problem these days is we've lost a lot of critical thinking.
Yeah.
You know, that is true. You know, it's realizing that something is not right when you're watching it and you're calling it out. You don't these days, as I was saying, they literally will cancel the show and they'll go, "Right, I'm never watching it again. That was wrong." You can still watch stuff from that same channel and agree with a lot of stuff, but also disagree with stuff.
Yeah, I can on Salty Nerd, I can agree with Tom and disagree with Matt and still be friends the next day. We agree and disagree on stuff all the time. Like, it's all about critical thinking. And I can also, like we said earlier, we can meet in the middle somewhere. As long as we're not meeting in the middle when it comes to like disfiguring children. Like, that's not going to work for me.
Absolutely, 100%.
So back to this thing. Let's see what they say about Nick Fuentes.
She would be a lot more likely to take Russian money than I would be to work for the CIA, because you would never take Russian money. And
again, this is I can't. I gotta say it, Tucker. It's disingenuous. You have to know. There's no way he doesn't know about Tenet. No way.
No.
And if he does know, then he's wording this in a way, and listen to the way he words it. He's wording it in a way that allows him an escape hatch from criticism.
Wiggle room. Yeah.
Right. But also allows him to be kind to the guest that's in his studio, and say, oh, of course you wouldn't take Russian money. But you did. You might not have known it was Russian money, but you took it. And it was. And maybe it's not your fault, but it happened. That's clear. Notice they're not talking about that whatsoever. That's there you go.
You're not Russian,
Just wave it away.
But I mean, I really hate the CIA, and I mean, I would that's like very offensive to me. So why would you?
It's like personal for you.
Well, a little bit,
yeah.
And anyway, like, who is this kid exactly?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's just an accident that the guy exclusively goes after people who are in roughly the same. And then he gets up there and he's like, making Holocaust jokes, and it's like, is it possible that this is like David Duke? David Duke, every time I had a new show, David Duke would endorse my show. I don't know, who the hell is David Duke? Well, David Duke is obviously part of a campaign to discredit people on the right, obviously.
Yeah, I think he's probably right about David Duke, but I think calling Nick Fuentes David Duke is...
Yeah, I mean...
exaggerated at best.
I mean, a lot of this also...
By the way, David Duke is like the leader of the KKK or something like that. I forgot. He's like a famous racist. Extreme racist.
I mean, again, you're right about their eating their own. I mean, it's so pathetic as well, because it's airing your grievances in public. I can get it if you've got a story and you're pushing it and there's a debate and there's pushback. Yeah, I get that. But this is moved into the personal sphere, isn't it?
Yeah, Nick Fuentes isn't there. Like, he's not actually there. So
yeah,
like there's a whole, and this isn't even like a passing thing, bro. This is a whole chapter on here. So it's not like a passing comment in another section. It's a whole chapter of this podcast.
Yeah.
And I think it's very obvious that Nick Fuentes is exactly the same. Doesn't mean everything he says is false. It doesn't mean he's not talented. He's enormously talented. Doesn't mean he's a bad person. I'm not attacking him personally, but he is clearly part of a campaign to...
God damn, Tucker is so talented. Like, notice he can basically say he is clearly a disinformation campaign. So he said they're saying he's a Russian... he's saying he's a government stooge, working for the left to discredit the right. Which is, I find, insanely convenient for you, Tucker.
But again, wiggle room to basically say, "Oh, I didn't say that."
Yeah, but then wiggle room. Yeah,
said it.
I find it obvious, but he's a very talented guy. Like, okay,
exactly.
All right, come on, Tucker.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah, this is the thing I don't like about Tucker. Is like he's very smart, bro, and he's smart enough to avoid criticism with just the details of what he's saying. I'm gonna tell you, if you took the charisma of Trump with the intelligence of Tucker Carlson, you would have a literal world emperor at some point. It would just take over the planet. You know what I mean? Because what Trump doesn't have is the ability to word things correctly. To avoid criticism. If anything, he actually words them incorrectly all the time and just gets attacked nonstop, dude. All right, let's finish this.
Discredit non-crazy right voices. That's obvious to me. I've been around a long time. I know it when I see it.
Yeah,
obvious
and I will say I don't understand it.
See, if Candace had said, it's obvious to me, Macron, whatever, woman, whatever, groomer, whatever, if she said it's obvious to me, if she said, to me, this looks like, to me, had she said those things, there'd be no room for a lawsuit. But instead she goes, it is obvious, and I have the evidence that this person is 100% without a doubt, blurp, 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 blurp. I'm not going to say it. Blurp, blurp, blurp.
Yeah.
And you're like, and then she goes, why am I being sued? What?
Yeah.
How have you not been sued yet? I'm shocked.
And again, she would have a legal team behind her. Clearly, she's got someone on retainer, and they're probably sitting there going, "Oh, for crying out loud! Why can't she just shut her gob?"
2 words. If everything she said was finished to me, right, or allegedly, or in my opinion, if you just use those words, then no one would be able to come after you for defamation. Because you cannot be sued for your opinion. Right?
But she doubled down.
She doubled down. Dude, she tripled down, bro.
Yeah.
She tripled down. She doubled down, split the aces, tripled again, smacked the dealer in the face, and said, "Fight me." I'm like, I mean, she's really going for it, bro.
You were very kind to him. Like, I truly, like, we almost said, like, we felt maybe he was a bit lonely. We should invite him back for dinner. I mean, that's how good of an experience.
Real quick, super chat from John Burns. This actually clears it up. Thank you. Former Grand Duke Wizard of the KKK, David Duke, former KKK leader David Duke, endorses Jill Stein in U.S. presidential race. Thank you. That was for the purpose of discrediting her. I remember that. Thank you, John, for the super chat, and thank you for the clarification. That is facts. Thank you.
Yeah.
Experience I had.
Yeah, Marcia has. I'm not sure how she has not been sued, because she does this all the time, and this is the first time I've seen her actually be sued for defamation.
Yeah, it's clearly it's
and then it was a 180. So it's either A, it's being driven from like a little boy insecurity, and he just was so worried that he like just went on the attack because he doesn't know how to have normal relations after being banned everywhere.
Well, I think there's kind of
that could be one element.
The angry gay kid thing going on. Yeah.
Or
see, like this is like just being child. He's an angry boy. He's an angry gay kid. And like, I don't understand. Like, to see Tucker is now making the mistake that Tucker sometimes makes with guests, where he starts to, in order for him to, because he's such a diplomatic dude, he wants to be the chameleon, where he sort of morphs into what their version of what they want to see from him is, so that they open up and give as much information as possible. Yeah. Right. Well, what happens is when he morphs himself into that person to become their confidant in these interviews, he starts to take on them. Right. He starts to take on some of their mannerisms and their ideas in order to be that chameleon, and he sometimes goes too far. If you watch every one of his interviews, it always starts with classic Tucker. And then what happens is about halfway, and we're about halfway through, coincidentally, halfway through, his words and mannerisms start to sort of reflect the person he's talking to, because that's what a good interviewer does. But he always goes a little too far, dude. A little too far. Again, he gets in the weeds.
You'd think if you're intelligent, though, because, again, this is now ranging into the area of this is a defamation of character of somebody that can't defend themselves.
Yeah, like they can't defend themselves. This is not even his policies. They're not criticizing his, like, so we criticize Candace Owens for her bullshit Macron stuff and her lying about Russia. These are all obvious things that we can prove, right? We're criticizing things that she said. They're not even criticizing what he's saying. They're just criticizing his personality at this point. This is wild. Like this is what the left does. The left does that. The right does not do this. But more and more we're seeing the right do this to themselves, which is crazy, bro.
It's mad. But again, it amazes me how people are watching her and that she's so popular. I just don't get it. I just don't. But then again, it
I'll
must
tell you
be
why. I think it's because
the grift and the negativity.
Yeah, it's the negative grift, and she's very good in small doses, like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook Reels, like these little posts where you see her like, oh, Candace Owens, Rex, liberal, homosexual, or whatever, right? And it's like, I don't care if you don't like this. I think Jesus, and it's usually something that confirms their bias, and she's real passionate about it, and she's the pretty black woman. So they can go, oh, pretty black woman says something I agree with. That proves that I am not racist. I am already more interested in watching this. And then the person says exactly what you believe, and they go, oh, like, she's spicy. And the next time their algorithm feeds them another clip, and all these clips are taken completely out of context, and it's just feeding the algorithm. And she's very good at these little viral moments that get passed around on Facebook with all the old people, Instagram with all the crazy young people that are still holding out there, and TikTok, don't even get me started. So she gets passed around in these little viral moments to the point where she looks like she has this gigantic fan base, but 90% of the people that know who she is have never sat down and listened to a single long-form podcast once. My wife would tell you Candace Owens great. She has never heard a Candace Owens podcast. My wife's aunt loves Candace Owens. Have never heard that. She didn't even know she had a podcast. Didn't know she had a long-form show. They only like her because of the tiny little clips they see of her saying exactly what they already believe. Yeah. They're not actually saying anything instructional. They're not giving new information. There's no new insight. It's just, here's a 30-second clip of me saying something you already fucking believe, and now you're a fan. It's so lazy to me, and it's so obvious how completely disingenuous and how much of a con man she is. And that's why it drives me nuts when I see smart people falling for it because they don't have time to go look at her fucking podcast.
You're absolutely right, but you know, we're at a time now, and again, this is why I like independent journalism, because you need people that are actually going to interview her and actually push back on all this stuff. You know, there are some very good people online that do that sort of stuff, you know, and to basically just go, no, that's wrong. Where's your evidence? Bring it up. Where's your data? All of that, push back on it.
Right.
This, from what I'm hearing of this is a very soft soap interview with Tucker Carlson of basically, you say whatever you want, but I'm not going to push back on any of it.
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to have your narrative, you know, without people there to defend themselves.
It started with him, like if you earlier chapters, he did push back a little bit. But yeah, like the longer it goes, the more sort of putty he becomes. He just starts.
But that goes into the chameleon
more,
thing you were
saying. Morphs into Candace Owens, like the longer
exactly.
he talks.
Yeah. It's like flipping Odo from Star Trek.
He's like Odo, yeah. Right.
Or it's what you're saying, where he does this, he's lying to everybody and pretending that things are one way when it's not. I can say
why is he attacking Joe Kent, who? I mean, Joe Kent worked as a CIA contractor, paramilitary.
I mean, I sort of agree with that. I listened to the Joe Kent stuff and I didn't understand, but I also don't have all the information, and I obviously don't know. I literally learned of Joe Kent from this and Nick Fuentes, so maybe Nick has more information that I have not seen yet. But from my perspective, it looks like he's just going after someone because they happen to be a contractor for the CIA. If we just went after people that worked for the government, there'd be a lot of people. My wife would be on that list because she works for the school district, you know? Like, I don't know. It's like, so Sosa says Joe Kent was a literal CIA officer. But again, I don't know anything about it. But it seemed like he didn't, in the interview I saw Sosa, in the podcast I saw Sosa, he did not bring up why he was so untrustworthy. I don't know. Let's finish this.
Military contractor. Yep. He's in the U.S. military for years fighting our neocon wars. And his wife was killed in...
Yeah, real quick, Sosa. But why is that a problem? Why can't Peter Thiel finance people? Like, if Soros can finance the left, why can't our Soros? I always call Peter Thiel like our Soros because he's sort of like the rich right-wing guy. Like, I don't understand what the problem is with being funded by, you know. I mean, yeah, I guess there's a swamp mentality. Like, that's where the swamp comes from, this, like, dark money. I guess that can be the criticism. But, I don't know. I'm not gonna, like, completely disown a politician because they took money from a rich person. Because
sadly, it's the nature of the beast, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the nature of the beast. The only way you can possibly get ahead now in politics is having that money. You got to have the Peter Thiels or whatever, he's probably a dirtbag, probably on the Epstein list, in my opinion, allegedly. To me.
Brian's got an entire file just as evidence.
Syria in one of those wars. Joe Kent is the single most sincere critic, and I would say the one with the most credibility in the United States to say this foreign policy is bad. It killed my...
See, I don't know about that, too. Like what he just said was like once again definitive. He needs to say like in my opinion. Anyways.
My wife, I was a part of it. Joe Ken is actually someone the CIA doesn't like at all because he understands how it operates. And for Nick Fuentes, who's like some child from Chicago, to go after him specifically.
Okay, we're gonna move on. They just keep going after Nick. I don't understand why they're going so hard on Nick Fuentes for criticizing people. I find it's very weird that you're going to go so hard after someone who's criticizing a CIA officer, or a right winger, a billionaire, or a right winger influencer. Why is it that you'll circle the wagons for these people, but not for others in your camp? I'll tell you why. Because you probably are either friends with those people or took money from them. Let's be honest. You're in a relationship that requires defense. It always comes back to that. You're in a relationship with these people that require defense of them, which means you can't circle the wagon for some gay kid from Chicago. You know, you're going to have, of course you're going to circle the wagon for the billionaire financier and the CIA agents. I get it.
Yeah.
I don't
100%.
Again, I don't agree with everything Nick Fuentes says. I think he's racist for sure. I thoroughly dislike Candace Owens. I actually do like Tucker Carlson, but Tucker Carlson does become putty in these interviews, which drives me nuts. I'll tell you this. I think someone in the chat said it perfectly. It's all about critical thought. When you watch 100%. Something, critical. Have a critical opinion of what that person's saying. If that person is not offering any information outside what you already believe, then you can watch him or her, but note that you're probably watching them because confirmation bias feeds the dopamine center of your brain. If you want actual information, find someone that's saying something that hasn't been said before, saying something that would be considered a hot take. And I'm not saying I'm always that person, but I always try to look at everything. And John,
check
and
other sources,
and Salty Nerds, we look at the source and we go, "Wow, this is not." I mean, I know this might not play to my Snyderverse bro base, but I don't agree.
But you got to call it as it is, yeah.
Yeah, you got to call it balls and strikes. And if they aren't calling balls and strikes, if they're not calling it for what it is, then they're probably grifters.
Yeah,
it's just that simple. And Tucker has made it very clear he does this for money. Like he did it. He said that. Like that's one thing I like about Tucker. And like why did you start your independent thing? He goes, to make money.
Yeah.
If I already had if I had enough money, then I wouldn't be working. And I'm like, and he said like this. He goes, why else would I do it? And you're like, well, at least he's being honest. Shit. Like most people would be like, for love of truth and country. Like, no, he's like, for fucking money.
No, I want to get paid.
I want to get paid.
I want this.
I got fired from Fox and I still need a job. It's just that simple.
It's the same with us, isn't it? Why do you go to work in insurance? Yeah. It's not because I love it, the industry. I get paid.
Yeah. In no way has this to do with it's not something I like to do. I mean, you can love your work, but you do it to get paid.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
You need food.
Yeah, you need food. You need to pay rent. You need air conditioning, electricity, like the creature comforts that make life worth living.
Yeah.
Money. You need money. Now, why do me and John do this show on Saturdays? Because we like doing it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. The second I stop liking doing this. The second I don't like doing this anymore, I won't do it.
And the reason I'm here tonight is because Shane decided that he wanted to watch the Barbie movie again. Okay, that's why Shane is at home watching Barbie right now. Yeah. Now, is that factual, or am I just a grifter?
Well, you have to say, well, from my experience, in my opinion, to me, he's watching Barbie. No, the thing is this, guys, like the moment this is no longer fun, the moment this is no longer interesting, having a conversation with you guys, learning about new things, The moment this is not something I want to do, I will not do it.
Yeah.
Because I do not get paid for this. I get paid on my main channel, sure. But I don't get paid for this, and I don't get paid for DC. I don't get paid for Salty Nerd. I do those things, and I don't get paid for John's show either. I do these things because I like doing them. So if you ever think like, oh, you guys are grifters, remember this. Grifters require money. And we don't get any money for it. Okay? So I just suggest that people you watch, things you ingest, like hopefully they give you new information, or at the very least that they are thinking and speaking and delivering critical information. And that when you look at them and ingest them and pay attention to them, remember that you are training an algorithm to feed you information. And if you only look at the stuff that gives you that little dopamine hit, that's all the algorithm's ever going to feed you. And if you don't believe me, go on your favorite network. Go on your YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels. Go on any of those platforms, and I want you just to find the first thing that interests you. Let's say it's a girl with a big butt, okay? Or a cute dog. I want you to watch that video 4 times. Let it play 4 times. Let it repeat 4 times. And then scroll quickly. And only stop on the next girl with a big butt or dog or whatever you're interested in. And then stop. Watch that 4 times. And then do it again. By the 4th time, the frequency of videos that are exactly like that first one will increase by 100 times. And that's not me. That's algorithmic. Which means if it's big butt girls, it'll be big butt girls. Big butt girls. Eventually your entire feed is nothing but big butt girls or cute dogs.
Brian, I get that, but can you stop talking about my feed? Because you were going to keep that private, and now you've made it public, mate. All right, big butt girls, we talked about this earlier, okay?
for a while there, my feed was like all Superman-related stuff, because that's all I was looking at.
You know what? We're actually at the...
Trick the algorithm, guys. Man. Trick the algorithm.
We are at the point now where it's the film Demolition Man, where he's at the screen because he's depressed, and the machine goes, "You inspire joy feelings," and all those around you.
Right.
That's what we're waking up to on a daily basis now.
Right. It's all about that dopamine hit, dude. It's all about that. Okay. Yeah. Let's get to super chats. You know what gives me the dopamine hit? When you give super chats. That's my algorithm. So let's go to that. John Burns for $5. Thank you, John. He says Tucker Carlson is a wimp. He should go to Estonia and interview people about the singing revolution. I think the world needs that. He would get murdered. But thank you for the super chat. John, we already showed John. Thank you for that too. Rec Thoughts for 20 months. Wow, bro. Damn. Thank you for hanging in there. He says, so how is being called a man actual defamation legally? Actually, it's not the man part. It's the grooming part. So she said, you want to explain it?
Well, defamation effectively is, a false statement of fact. And it's a published statement, isn't it? Which is effectively what she's done. So, it can cause harm or damage someone's reputation as a result of it. So it does hit those marks of defamation, which leaves her open to legal exposure, doesn't it?
Yeah, they might fail, but it definitely is defamation legally. But the thing about it was that she also said that she basically trained her husband from a really young age to be her spouse. That's like calling someone a man. I think that's sort of like, that would also be defamation, but
textbook.
But yeah, the grooming thing is textbook. It's going to hurt her political career. And by the way, I don't care for the Macron people or I don't like any of those people at all.
No.
But
I don't.
But she doesn't have evidence.
You do.
So.
Yeah.
I would love to see
what you
some
want to do
evidence,
in private. Yeah.
Imagine if she was like, Oh, you know? Oh, you don't think I have evidence? Look at this. Here is this person as a 20-year-old and 19 whatever with this person on their knee. You're like, oh well. That's
this
actually
is another photo of her cage fighting and
right. I'm like, oh well, that's actually evidence. Sorry, I doubted you. Yeah, we're not gonna get that though. From John Burns, $5. Nick Turuto, brother of Oscar-winning John, loves complaining about the Yankees in his living room on X. A true David of the First Amendment. I don't know who Nick Turuto is. Turuto?
No idea. No idea.
All right, well, thank you for that, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and John says, don't forget, oh my God, cute dogs with big butts.
Yeah. Oh, so you've been keeping an eye on my profile as well.
My entire feed is basically cute dogs with big butts. I can't. Every once in a while, it's a sheep with a big butt, but a lot of big butt animals. All right, we got to talk about one more thing, but before we do, I want to urge you to please consider becoming a member because we will be going into the members section next. The members section is actually pretty freaking awesome. If you are new to this channel and don't know what we do there, we basically do whatever we want. I take my pants off. John takes his shirt off. We got gay for a couple minutes.
Crazy.
We talk to you guys. We put baby oil all over our heads, and I'm just making up random crap now. Basically,
that's his latest AI project,
yeah,
by the way.
What we do in the members section is we talk to you unfiltered. There's no worry about being demonetized for saying the word vaccine or something crazy. There's no crazy anything that's going to happen. You know, there's no crazy restrictions. We're able to speak freely and frankly, and more importantly, we speak to you. So if you're a member, then we will talk to you in the member section. And we bring up some other stuff too that normally might be a little too spicy for the show or have a copyright claim thing. Go ahead.
Kenneth LaRock is a legend. If you just seen, he's
yeah,
just sent 5 BRANE Show gift memberships. Fair play, my friend. That's brilliant.
Absolute
Thanks for doing
legend. You know, Kenneth LaRock not only supports us here as a super producer, but he also supports us on our other channel as a. And it was weird. I was going through it the other day because I was looking up the names to put at the end of the video, and I noticed I saw Ken twice. So Ken couldn't sign up to a larger tier, so he signed up twice to the largest tier there was.
Legend.
Yeah, it's absolute. Like I literally had to. I made a new tier that matched his donation that said super producer, just to make it easier for him in the future if he wanted to do that.
Yeah. That's just God level.
Yeah, bro.
You know,
you are the BAMF, man. Badass motherfucker. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this Facebook thing. I just want to remind you that if you want to become a member, John just gave 5 memberships. So if you're not a member and you got one of those, then great. But if you didn't get one of those and you want a membership, then hit the members button. I'm gonna stop promoting it. And because we're leaving here pretty soon, do consider. Are there super chats I missed, John?
We got Kenneth LaRock sent 5.
Oh yeah, I see him. Thank you.
Okay.
Coldplay memes now include Trump and the Epstein hug. That's true. Drew D for 10 months. Grok and Tesla has been in a huge flop so far because Grok isn't connected to anything in the car and doesn't remember prior conversations. Yeah, that's actually a big deal. It's the prior conversations that make people especially attracted to these AIs. But I'll tell you this, that's actually bad for the information you're gonna actually get. It makes the information more tailored to you, but it doesn't help you get the correct information, unfortunately.
Yeah.
John Burns for $2. Thank you, John. In 2019, 2020, 2021, PCs got more votes than Justin. Oh, is that true? In Canada? I didn't know that. Interesting.
I didn't know that.
And then $2. Candace is lucky she's liked by the litigious Trump. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Trump has no problem suing for defamation, for sure. Right? And John Burns, again for 2 hours, her political career, too old, not Nancy Pelosi. Oh my God, that lady is so old now. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm actually at a point now where I think she's a gold from Stargate.
She's so old. It's insane how...
She's got a sarcophagus somewhere and regenerating her on a regular
basis. And she has like huge mammary glands. It's weird how big her mammary glands are, right? I hate to say it, but it's like she got gigantic mammary glands, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They experimental ones, I would say.
It's pretty incredible. And John Burns, don't forget the super chats above. Thank you, John. John sent a super chat to remind me of super chats. My man, dude.
Yeah,
okay, well, one last thing. We're gonna go out with this story, and don't forget, when we leave here, we're gonna go directly to the member section. I'm gonna tease you guys a little. I'm gonna show you guys the video, but we're not gonna actually comment on it until we get to the member section. So, ready? I saw someone else do this, and I was like, "That's a pretty good idea." What they just did there. So I'm gonna do that. Try to get more people to become members. So this is Mark Zuckerberg talking about Meta's vision for the future of personal superintelligence for everyone. Here we go. Can you see it?
Yep.
All right, ready? Hey, everyone.
By the way, just that first part, like, it's obviously planned.
All right, ready? Hey, everyone. I want to talk about our new effort, Meta Superintelligence Labs, and our vision to build personal superintelligence for everyone. AI keeps accelerating, and over the past few months, we've begun to see glimpses of AI systems improving themselves. So developing superintelligence is now in sight. But there's this big open question about what we should direct superintelligence towards. A lot has been written about the scientific and economic advances that AI can bring, and I'm really optimistic about this. But I think an even more meaningful impact in our lives is going to come from everyone having a personal superintelligence that helps you achieve your goals, create what you want to see in the world, be a better friend, and grow to become the person that you aspire to be. This vision is different from others in the industry who want to direct AI at automating all of the valuable work. At Meta, we believe in putting the power of superintelligence in people's hands to direct it towards what they value in their own lives. Some of this will be about improving productivity, but a lot of it may be more personal in nature. This is going to be a new era in some ways, but in others, it's just a continuation of historical trends. Back 200 years ago, 90% of people were farmers growing food to survive. Today, fewer than 2% grow all of our food. Advances in technology have freed much of humanity to focus less on subsistence and more on the pursuits that we choose. And at each step along the way, most people have decided to use their newfound productivity to spend...
All right, we'll finish this in the member section. See you guys next week, or I'll see you in the member section. Oh, we're going to finish that. It's like another minute. Before we go, don't forget, John and I have a show tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. PST. Right? Yeah. What are we doing, Johnny?
So we're doing Stargate SG-1. It's episodes 10 and 11 tomorrow of season 2 of SG-1. So looking forward to that one. Join us if you want to. It's on. We watch it all together on Discord, and then we all type along in the chat. So we have a laugh doing that, don't we? So look in and join us.
Yep, tomorrow. All right, and or we'll see you in the member section in a few minutes. Either way. Oh, I'm sorry. One more super chat here. John Burns. A woman now can now communicate because of Elon's Musk chip. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I saw that. Thank you, John.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, boys and girls, we're going to the member section. See you there.
Spent more time on creativity, culture, relationships.
I'll be back in 1 second.
All right, brother.